Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have so many updates since the last time I made a video. I have a little haul of some thrift books, some library books, and then one book from the free little library. And then I have some notes on some book stuff that I read another book before I got all these books. So I will start with the book I read first since I last spoke to you, which was My Death by Lisa Tuttle. I think I just started that book in the last video, and it literally gave me whiplash. Like, it's a very short book, and I remember like the description of it was like kind of like mysterious or like, you know, kind of, I don't know, I don't remember, like somehow supernatural in a way. And I was like, I'm like more than halfway through this book and nothing like that has happened. There was elements that were kind of clues, but, and I don't want to spoil it because I want you guys to read it if you haven't, but in the last like 20 pages, it gets real crazy, kind of confusing, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I didn't really understand how it worked, but I kind of let myself not understand it, you know? Like, for me, I have to decide, like, okay, you don't understand this, but you're just gonna keep going with it, you know? And that's what I did. Overall, I liked it. It was a fun, easy read, so I definitely recommend it. I don't even really give book recommendations on this channel because I think you should just read what you want to read, but I thought it's so short that, like, yeah, it's a good book. Okay, what else? So then after that, well, let me just show you my stack of books. Okay, then I started reading The Shards, another huge book. Well, let me start by saying I returned same as it ever was, and I was complaining about how big it was, and then I got this book, which is actually bigger than that one, but I was super excited to read this book, like more excited than probably maybe any book I've ever read. I was so excited to read this book, and I'm maybe about 100 pages in, and it kind of let me down a little bit. I'm still enjoying it. I'm definitely going to finish it. I think because my expectations were so high, I just there's a problem with his big books, okay? I really prefer his shorter books to his big books. I think when this is over and I've read it, I might really love it, but the process of reading a big Bret Easton Ellis book is not always the most, like, enjoyable. I don't know how else to say it. There's just a lot of filler. It's a lot of, like, you know, he's really building this world, really, like, painting it out and everything, but it's always, it's like if you've read Lesson Zero, or any of his books set in like LA in the 80s, you kind of already know all this world, so you don't need to necessarily like write it out exactly the same, you know? And I guess obviously he's not writing this book for his like super fans, he's just writing it for like a mass audience, so I respect that. But yeah, there's just like a lot. It took about 100 pages to get to the part where it's actually getting like kind of fun and spooky and like thrillery. And so I am excited. I genuinely am excited, and I want to know like what's going on. I want to see what happens. But so yeah, that's my review so far. 100 pages in. I love the character Matt. I don't want him to die. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say about that. Then what else? Okay, I got these. Oh no, I have to get another book. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay. This is the problem with like not being able to edit, but it's fine. So I got these 2 books in the mail from Thrift Books. Now I ordered these when I was in the middle of reading The Goldfinch, and the copies of, well, I didn't have The Secret History, but the copy of The Little Friend was so messed up that I was scared to pick it up and read it. So I just bought them. I bought this and I bought this. I just want to say I've started reading The Secret History. I am so obsessed with this copy. First of all, it's so reminiscent of like, to me, those like romance books, like the Fabio romance books, just the size of it, and it's probably more reminiscent of like mystery, thriller, detective-y kind of books, but I've never really looked at those. This cover with the this like red shiny, it's like off the page, super pretty. And then this is like, the page is like this column right here, and then it opens up. So pretty. Also, the spine is like so cracked, and also there are like little stains, like little tea stains or something. It's just so charming. I'm obsessed with this. Like, I usually get the books that say like new, you know, kind of, but I think that this one was way cheaper, and it was like, it said like okay quality or whatever, but I kind of want to start buying the more used ones because they're just so, they have so much character. And then The Little Friend. This one looks like new. I'm way preferred this to the hardcover copy that I rented. So I have not started that book, but I did start The Secret History. The font is very tiny. It feels difficult to get through a page, and I don't know if that's the writing. I don't know if it's the format, even though I just said I love this book. Yeah, I think because the words are so small that I'm like, oh, this is gonna take forever. So I only do a couple pages at a time, but to me, it's kind of like, this book I think is gonna take me a long time to finish, but it's going to be hopefully enjoyable. Like, you know, I'm just like savoring it, you know. So far, I like The Goldfinch better. I know, that's probably a very unpopular opinion, but I'm only on chapter 2, so we'll see what happens. Okay, next. So I went to the library yesterday to return same as it ever was, and I got 2 books in return from online. I had, you know, had these books sent to my library. So I got Paradise, I wish I knew how to pronounce that, by Fernanda Melcher. Now, I had not started reading this book, but I want to show you something. Every page looks like this. Now, if you'll notice, it is an unending block of text. The margins are beautiful, but there are no pages, almost no pages that end at the end of a sentence. I found this out yesterday, and I was really scared. This frightened me. They all look like that. They all look like that. Trust me, they all look like that. I don't know how to read like that because I just can't. I guess what I could do is I could take a post-it note, and when I'm done reading something, I will just put the post-it note right under that sentence. That's the only thing I can think of. It is very short, so that gives me hope, but I am a little worried about that whole situation. But I don't have to think about that now because I am reading The Informers. I was not excited to read this book, and I actually am enjoying it more than the shards for the most part. I'm now halfway through the book, and it's like, it says it's a novel, and in a way I guess it is. It's kind of reminiscent to Rules of Attraction and the way that it's different people's perspectives, but it's getting to a point where it's kind of confusing. Just the different stories, because a lot of it is like parents and children, and I'm starting to get to a point where I'm like, wait, whose story is this? Like, is this the parent of this person, or is this person? I'm getting a little confused, so I'm trying to just read it as its own individual thing and not connect it to anything else, because if not, then I will be very annoyed that I can't figure out who is who. But I love little chapters, and this has little chapters, and yeah, it's just an easy read. I think there's a vampire story in this. I have not gotten to that, but that's kind of fun. Also, I think this is his only book with like female, I guess Rules of Attraction had female perspectives, but this has multiple female perspectives, and I didn't even realize that until it was like said like a girl's name or something like that, so that's different. What else is there to say about that? My lips are so chapped right now. I'm trying not to like bite them. Oh, hold on, sorry. I do have notes on here, but I'm like trying to read them all. Well, let me get to my next book. So I got this in the little free library, and I'm so excited. This is My Last Sigh by Louis Buñuel. Is that how you pronounce his name? He's the director of The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie. Is that the name of it? Discreet, yeah. Which is very famous. It's kind of like the Triangle of Sadness before Triangle of Sadness, and all those all those movies. Like, this is the OG class movie filmmaker. So this is his memoir or autobiography, and it has pictures too. Hold on, let me see. Now, I've only gotten to, has these beautiful photos. I've only gotten to, where is it? Chapter 2 right now. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. I think it'll be another kind of like in-between book because I own it, so I don't have to worry about trying to read it quickly. But I think he's like a beautiful writer. The first one, he talks about his mother and like what it was like when she was losing her memory when she was old, and then it cuts to his own kind of like when he slowly realized he was like not fully able to remember things, and like how important memory is and dreams and stuff like that. As someone with ADHD, I do not have to worry about that slowly happening when I get older because I already have issues with memory. So, but anyways, I really like this book so far. I'm happy that I found it. And then I have a few notes, just in general, little things that I wanted to chat about. The first one is writing update, I guess. So I've not really been writing too much lately. I've not been doing my 1500 words. I think I will get back to that, but right now I'm not super worried about it, which is good. I'm not like beating myself because I'm not getting a word count or anything like that. I'm about halfway through a novel and halfway through a novella. And I'm also working on some short stories, and maybe I shouldn't be doing that all at once, but that's the only way I can work. I have to be doing multiple things. But what I was gonna say, I've always struggled with characters, with side characters, with like tertiary characters, whatever. I've always really struggled to keep them in the story, you know, involved in the story. And I decided to just start writing about one of the characters, just one of the characters from my novel. And, you know, I kind of wrote his whole life story in a nutshell, I guess. And I realized something that's probably so obvious, but the more you develop your side characters, the more your main characters are developed. Just naturally, from having those other characters developed, you're able to play off of the other characters. I don't know how to explain this, but like I was able to learn things about my main character through developing my side characters. And yeah, I don't know exactly how that worked, but it was like an epiphany to me once I got done writing that kind of bio-y thing. And then I wrote a few scenes with my main character and that character, and it was like, oh, I'm actually learning about my main character through this. So I want to really start focusing on my other characters and writing out their stories like the same way I did with this character. And I'm very excited about that. It feels like a breakthrough in my own writing education, self-education. Okay, so maybe the last thing I want to speak about is just something I've noticed. Why is everyone either like, we all know that everyone's broke right now, right? But when I go on like people's YouTube channels, people that don't have a lot of subscribers, okay? Have more than me, obviously, but like don't have enough to make a living off of it. They're not like rich influencers, but they all have money, like every single one of them. And is that a thing of like, if you have time, if you have money, you have time to make a YouTube channel, you know, is that it? Or is it like I'm drawn to them because like their lives look so pretty and like aesthetic, really is the word. Like I was just watching a booktuber yesterday, had a vlog, and she doesn't have a lot of subscribers. She has another job. I'm not gonna say who it is. But she was just like buying all this stuff and like doing all this stuff, and I'm like, is this normal? Like, does everyone just have a bunch of money? Because I can't, like, fathom spending money like that. Granted, I work, like, maybe, like, 3 shifts a month at this point. I mean, my schedule is picking up in the fall, so I will be working more. And that means that I can, I mean, I'm still not going to be, like, shopping and stuff like that, but I would have the ability to. But I just, like, and it kind of goes to something else that I was thinking of recently, where it's just like, my life sometimes feels so bare, compared to other people. And I know we all compare ourselves to other people, especially, like, with social media and stuff, but I'm not even talking about, like, the influencers with, like, millions of subscribers and, like, you know, wearing designer clothes. I just, like, sometimes I'm just like, everyone looks so much nicer and, like, has these nice clothing on and just looks so, I don't know, put together, and, like, and this doesn't always have to do with money, I understand that, but they just have nice things, and they're kind of always rotating these nice things. It's like, oh, I got this new water bottle because this is the new water bottle, or, like, you know, I got this new shirt because this is, like, my summer wardrobe, or my fall wardrobe, or just things like that. And it's like, it makes me feel like I'm on a different planet from these people. That's all I have to say. Maybe I sound bitter. I'm more just like, where are you making, like, we're, like, in a recession. Like, how are you able to do all that? Unless you're, like, rich. You know what I mean? Okay, anyways. Before I go, I just want to say that I started a commonplace notebook that is for all the screenshots, or not screenshots, all the photos I take of passages in a book. I'm just writing them out now in a little notebook. So yeah, that's literally it. This is a long video, and I'm going to leave you with all of that to process for yourself.